After God has delivered Israel from the hands of the Egyptians through the 7 plagues, Israel travels through the desert to the Red Sea. God had already made it known to Moses that Pharaoh would pursue them because he regretted letting Israel leave. But the Lord wanted to make the Egyptians know that he was God at the expense of Pharaoh and his servants. This is how this Bible story begins, and we will tell how Israel was led through the Red Sea. At Bible Teller, we post weekly videos about the Bible with the support of AI images. So increase your Bible knowledge and immerse yourself in the beautiful stories. Moses had led the people to the Red Sea as the Lord had commanded him. And there they sat, waiting for what was to come, everyone just doing his or her thing. The Pharaoh had regretted it and is on his way to the Red Sea with 600 of his best chariots and their officers to bring the people back to Egypt, because who else would have to work for them? And when Pharaoh came near, the children of Israel stood up slowly and saw a great cloud of dust approaching quickly. And soon they ran to Moses and said to him, "Weren't there enough graves in Egypt for us to die in the desert? Why did you bring us? Didn't we tell you to leave us alone so that we could serve the Egyptians instead of dying in the desert?" But Moses said, "Do not be afraid and have courage, for the Lord has provided for you. You will never see the Egyptians who arrive there again. The Lord your God will fight for you, and you must be silent." And the Lord said unto Moses, "Tell the people to pull down their tents and lift up your rod and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it, and the children of Israel may pass through the middle of the sea." And further said the Lord, "I will send the Egyptians after you, and I will be honored at the expense of Pharaoh and his servants, and at the expense of all his army and all his horses, and all the land of Egypt will know that I am the Lord." Then an angel of God came between the Israelites and the approaching Egyptians, and the angel and the pillar of cloud created darkness, so that neither could come near the other. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord brought a mighty east wind, and the water was parted, and there were 2 walls of water came into existence, and all the children of Israel walked through the midst of it, and it was dry. And the Egyptians pursued after the children of Israel, and they also passed through the mouth of the sea. But when the day came and the first rays of the sun came out, the Lord looked down on the Egyptians and threw Pharaoh's army into confusion. And he caused the wheels of their chariots to sink in the mud, and the Egyptians said, "Let us flee from Israel, for the Lord fights against us." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over the sea, and the waters will return over Pharaoh and his servants." And Moses did as God commanded him. And at dawn the walls of water collapsed, and the waters returned to their original place, and Pharaoh and his army were buried in the midst of the sea, and not one of them remained. So the Lord delivered Israel from the Egyptians, and the Israelites saw the dead washed up on the shore of the sea. And all the people of Israel praised God and were faithful to him and to his servant Moses, who had gone before them. And the people of Israel went further into the wilderness with Moses as their leader on the way to a land flowing with milk and honey. We at Bible Teller wish you all the best. Be sure to keep an eye on us for more biblical teaching and stories. Start your free membership on YouTube by clicking on the subscribe button, and see you next time.